I'm from a tribe of grandmother spider who through her web wove all of the language we decipher, all the alphabet, all the way the rhythms hit. And so my web weaves deeply as I understand the seeking of the deep sea humans on the surface just trying to breathe with bioluminescent exhales. The jellyfish understand this is the way too the snails look if we in avatar vision. What's your field? What's your mission? What's in the oven of your thought process cooking? Truly, the only interference is the static of your doubt of self. And that's the fluoride. That's the blank stares. That's the gorge your eyes out. Don't look. Rather not know, rather not care. We the generation woken of unstoppability, of feeling all the pain and all the blood of all the homies, understanding the taste of despair from every ancestor before me, that looked at the same sun and stared and said, from this light I do find my strength. Looked at the moon in all of its phases and said, from this phasing, I do find my might. I do understand the strength of my spirit through the passing of the celestial bodies as they move in, through knowing the weight and the power of one cell, and trusting that my granddaughters will reverse the spell, because as they heal, so too do we. As they speak, so too do we find a voice. This is what we fought for. Burned at the stake, thrown in volcanoes for. As they speak, so then we are freed. This is the meaning of being deep. Grandmother willow flow with roots so woven they hit the core of the earth where the dragons groan, waiting for their arrival, waiting for the surface of the earth that needs the liveliness, the frequency, the flow, whether it's air, water, fire, dragons, breath, is known. No longer fearful though. We are now dragons, manifesting the ancestors that looked at them and said, yes, we are one and the same. Our sources of love, and so we beat frequencies that do paint. The elixir of the spectrum of totality. It's frightening to be in humanity. It's fucking terrifying to feel the spectrum. But then I breathe in and I remember the lessons of them, of all the ones that have died for me to be here now, of all the ones that crossed borders, of all the ones that were strange in their orders, of all the ones that bred in odd ways, of all the ones with the strangers in their own places to create me here now. And so on the inhale, I breathe in their deep knowing, their agony, their pain, their solidarity of humanness, of creatureness. And on the exhale, I breathe life back into all of it as an honor of assists of this earth, as a tribe member that will fight for it. Even as I'm in my own abyss, darkness, despair, can't move, can't think, as I breathe in the ancestors in the earth. I exhale the dimensions above, the guardians, the angels, the ascended masters that are of one, working with us now, working. And then you breathe in, and it's no longer work, it's just an exhale, it's just an integration, it's just a small moment of space from the digital realm, the codes of the Wi-Fi and the cell phones and the towers and these interferences causing static as a mechanism to make us forget. But you better believe we are far from forgetting. We are the warriors made wet from the blood of our fellow humans, wet from the blood out the womb of our mothers, wet from the blood that our mothers and fathers did feel and see, wet from the blood that their ancestors too brewed from. Whether you're cesarean section or out the womb, son, we came from blood that bleeds red. We are human. We chose this again. I'm speaking to the elements of creatures that know different. They know more than blood bleeding red. They know the source of totality, of sociality, of complete union. Where there is no blood, there is only me and you, my kin. And then as that divides, some goes deep sea. Octopuses, they bleed blue. They have 3 stomachs and 2 brains. They slightly alien on this earth of planet that we call it, going, what the fuck? How you polluting the oceans like this? Jellyfish too, bioluminescent in how they bloom, going, how you polluting the planet like this? But I do know, what I do believe is that I am here because of the breath of those who seek. I am here because of the ancestors who fought and fought and fought battles beyond my knowing for me to sit here on a fucking phone like Tahiti, E.T. phone home, stranded on an island deep in the muck, deep in the darkness and the shadows, like what the fuck. But then I think of them. I breathe in, I feel my skin. I breathe out, I feel the molecules that created mine. And the ancient echo of the ones I carry, of my tribe. The Bible and the Old Testament, there's one fucking thing, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was, fucking Job or some shit. And in this passage, he speaks on the lineage of DNA. And he goes, this person, and this person, and this person, and this person. And I always got real sleepy, real tired reading all that shit. And there was one moment when I was in my circle with spirit, surrounded by candles, singing. And I opened that passage because I'm like, open me to a passage. I opened that one. The one that I always got bored from. And I read every name. And I felt their history. I felt the agony. I felt the fight. I felt the love. I felt the humanness. And so as we move forward now in this time in 2020, as children of God, black children of God, being cut down, and have been in history of these molecules, we're at a time now where we say their names. We're at a time now where we open the Bible and it's going to be their names that have created the wake, that have created the tsunami, that have created the fucking meteor that explodes the earth to reset it, because it will be nothing less. And I say this with my hand shaking. This goes too for all our fallen soldiers who took their own lives. And I'm not talking about fucking staged police hangings. I'm talking about revolvers to their head. I'm talking about kicking the stool and hanging yourself. I'm talking about suicide on one of the realest levels we know it now at this age of humans. And it's terrifying because in the UK, it's number one reason of death. In the States, it's the second, suicide. And it's the second cause of death for ages, check this out, 10 years old. 10 years old to 30 years old. Killing themselves. And so you know what I've learned too from Black Lives Matter is as we say their names out loud and empower it and empower their lives, they had no fucking choice. And it is a completely different frequency. But there is power in saying their names out loud. And so I've had 7 homies that have killed themselves. And when you kill yourself, it's like taboo. There's no great fucking, everybody feel like the parents are ashamed. Like there's this whole taboo on suicide. And so I started saying their names out loud. Because Black Lives Matter movement taught me the power of saying a name out loud. And so I say it. Tyler Bell, Tyler Evil, Brad Overhouse. And as I say their names out loud, the ones who took their own lives, there is a frequency within me that almost feels them gathering their own essence, you know? Because what we do know about the quote-unquote afterlife, after you die, and depending on how you prepare your physical self for the shift of form, you know, if you're killing yourself, you're not so prepared. And so as I say their names out loud, I feel them. I feel their fragments gathering. And the dreams I have and the conversation, the things that happen in my world are of a crisper consistency, if that makes sense. And so I'm going to paint on my wall. I'm going to paint every name of every black person in our record murdered. And then I'm also going to paint every name of every human who committed suicide that I know. Not to compare the two at all, but it's a frequency thing. I'll never forget when I heard one of the moms say their names out loud, say their names out loud. And I just broke the fuck down. I was crying for 2 weeks. And I was like I'm still... It's like I'm reciting Bible verses, like, you know, like John, Peter, 1 John, 2 John, you know, like Genesis, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like memorizing their names as an imprint. Even as I'm saying this, I don't feel... I was going to say, I don't feel a worthiness to even be a human, to speak the names of the fallen soldiers. But then as I say it, I know my worthiness comes from speaking the names of the fallen soldiers. Two completely different things, but same. Like, you sending these motherfuckers to war. Like, you sending these people to do this shit. You giving them, like, all kinds of hella crazy drugs. You giving them no aftercare. And you expect them to survive. You expect them to live. You know, like, some of these, they're called the first responders. Like, Tyler Ewald, it's like his year death anniversary from when he hung himself. And he's a first responder, hotshot, jumped out of the fucking airplane to kill wildfires, you know? And I never knew the suicide rate of firefighters is fucking insane. There's no aftercare for these motherfuckers. The structure of the government of caring for people doesn't exist. I don't know how I got here. The molecules of my ancestors. So there's a fight in me, I feel. It was the fight that brought me breath. It was the fight of my mom. It was the fight of my dad. It was the fight of their ancestors. It was the fight of any human being that existed before me. I feel it in the architecture of my fucking molecules. And it makes me angry. And it makes me sad. And it makes me want to fucking make moves. And then I get paralyzed. I get paralyzed in it. I get paralyzed in that knowing, in that aching of the knowing. I get paralyzed and still feeling fucking Tyler's brains in my hand. I get paralyzed and like still seeing his eyes like fade. I get paralyzed and the roster, the spectrum of human experience. And in being paralyzed, I get fucking angry even more because I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know how to move. I don't know how to operate. I don't even know how to make anything that makes sense, that even makes moves, that makes any fucking, you know? So, here I am. This started as a freestyle, and whoever I send this to, it's because now that I've gotten to this point, it's because you're one of the people that I choose to make moves with. If I'm sending it to you, then you know we're gonna figure it out. Whether it's music, whether it's creating some type of like merchandise, whether it's creating like, basically, if you getting this right now, I'm sending it to you because I know you feel the same fucking ache in your bones from your ancestors, okay? All the love, live and direct from Bali. Blessings.